welcome back and welcome to our weekly edition of all things women in sports. We are just 3 weeks away from the start of postseason play in the National Women's Soccer League, or NWSL. And while the Kansas City Current are still in a dominant first place atop the standings, they didn't really have a great weekend. The Current lost 1-0 to the 10th seeded Houston Dash on Saturday. That snapped their 17-game win streak, which leaves the club one win short of setting a new franchise record. But the Current have already secured their postseason spot, so the real worry out of this weekend came from an injury. Now, we're not going to show it, but in that game against the Dash, star Kansas City striker Temwa Chawinga exited the match with a non-contact injury. She got a knock to the upper right leg and had to be wheeled off the pitch. Now we do know it was not a knee injury, but Chawinga currently leads the league in scoring this season with 15 goals in 23 games. She's considered a frontrunner to repeat as both the league MVP and the Golden Boot winner. And another big name was also recently injured. Last week, U.S. women's national team star and Washington Spirit star Trinity Rodman suffered a low-grade MCL sprain. She just came back from injury a few weeks ago, but the good news here is this is not a long-term injury. The bad news, it will sideline her for at least the rest of the regular season and possibly into the playoffs. She'll also be forced to miss this month's national team friendlies. So let's take a look at your current NWSL standings. The top 8 teams in this league of 14 move on to postseason play, and there's been a lot of shuffling on this leaderboard. At the bottom there, you can see the Houston and North Carolina teams battling it out for one of those bottom spots. Meanwhile, our closest team, the Chicago Stars, still sitting in last place with 2 wins, 11 draws, and 12 losses. Turning to basketball, the WNBA has announced where next year's All-Star Game will be held, and it'll be Chicago that hosts the 2026 event. The three-point contest and skills challenge will be at the Sky's home, Wintrust Arena. Then the actual All-Star Game will move to the United Center, which has double the seating. This is Chicago's second time hosting this event after having it in 2022. But the league's collective bargaining agreement expires in 10 days on Halloween. The players are asking for 2 main points: increased revenue sharing and salary structures. So let's talk about the revenue sharing first. Right now, the WNBA players get 9% of the league's total revenue. Compare that to the NBA, where the players get 50%. But we can go a step further. NFL players get 48% of their revenue, and NHL players get 50%. You can see the W way lags behind, and the WNBA is just asking for its players to get the same treatment as other leagues. Now, interestingly, during an interview earlier today, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said the W's players do deserve a larger piece of that pie. Closer to home, Des Moines is one step closer to opening what's believed to be Iowa's first bar dedicated entirely to women's sports. It's called Heroics Sports Lounge. Now, Des Moines City Council approved its liquor license last night, which was the last big hurdle before opening. The goal is to have a place where women's sports are always the main event. So all 8 TVs in the bar will feature college and pro sports.
Going to a bar or restaurant and then asking somebody to turn the channel, and sometimes it's just a struggle. They don't understand. Like I had an instance where I wanted to watch a WNBA game and it was Fever, Caitlin Clark, and they turned it to NBA because it was NBA finals, and I'm like, no, WNBA.
And the owners hope to finish construction by Thanksgiving. And there is one local lady nominated for this week's Midwest Technical Institute Score Standout. Maisie Swears of Pleasant Valley had 38 assists and 4 aces to help the Spartans win a share of the MAC title. So pull out your phones. You can scan this QR code and it'll take you right to the website where you can vote for this week's MTI Score Standout. You can also always find that by going to WQAD.com and scrolling down on the homepage. You have until tomorrow at noon to vote for any of this week's nominees. Each week's winner is featured on Off the Cuff. And finally tonight, we are several weeks into the 2025 Women's Cricket World Cup. This year's tournament is being held in both India and Sri Lanka. So here's how it works. You've got 8 teams duking it out for the championship. That's Australia, Bangladesh, England, India, New Zealand, Pakistan, South Africa, and Sri Lanka. Australia are the defending champions after they beat England in 2022. But Australia is actually the most successful nation in the history of cricket with 7 world championships. So this marathon tournament began on September 30th, and we're still in the group stages. Semifinals take place next weekend, and a winner will be crowned on Sunday, November 2nd. And that'll do it for this week's edition of Women in Sports.